through a consortium representing all interested multinational corporations. Otherwise, we would be ready to negotiate with a company that will not tie the project to any political conditions and would be ready to take practical preliminary steps of the project's implementation. Mr. President, we believe that for the realization of a durable political settlement in Afghanistan and the alleviation of regional as well as international concern due to the prolonged conflict in Afghanistan, the Security Council will appreciate all harsh and complex realities in our country. The Islamic State actively cooperates with the head of the UN Special Mission for Afghanistan and will positively consider any peace plan to be in conformity with the Security Council and General Assembly resolutions. The military solution in Afghanistan is a serious threat to the peace and security of the region. As it is clearly specified in paragraph 7 of the report of the Secretary General, document 8/51/838 of March 16, 1997, quote, "The Taliban, judging both from their words and from their activities on the ground, appear determined to gain military and political control over all of Afghanistan and to establish, quote there, unquote, vision of an Islamic State. They view the other side as to opposed to this goal," unquote. We earnestly believe that the Security Council should take appropriate measures, including sanctions against the Taliban and their supporters who are supplying arms and logistical support, and preaching an appeasement policy towards the Taliban. Mr. President, armed popular opposition, including mass civil unrest against the Taliban, is ever more increasing. Many districts in the eastern provinces of Kunar and Laghman and northwestern province of Badghis have very recently been liberated with the assistance of the Supreme Council for the Defense of Afghanistan. Mr. President, distinguished members of the Council, all that has been stated above is not to justify the Islamic State of Afghanistan as the only power capable of bringing peace to the entire country, though the foundation of the government has considerably broadened, including the Eastern Council of Nangarhar. Rather, it is to stress on the serious ramifications of the continuation of assistance being channeled to the Taliban, which poses a threat to democracy, human rights, and peace and stability, not only in Afghanistan, but also in the entire region. Mr. President, having fervently stood by the ideals of the United Nations, the Islamic State of Afghanistan, despite innumerable odds, has struggled for the preservation of national independence, unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Afghanistan, and continues to do so. While we believe there is no military solution to our country's multifaceted problems, the Islamic State of Afghanistan has no other viable option other than resisting Taliban agenda. Just a few years ago, we had halted a Soviet thrust southward, so as part of the world would be safer. Today, we are striving to contain the Taliban to within Afghanistan because we are committed to regional and global peace and stability. Yet, still we are of the conviction that the return of peace and stability to Afghanistan requires a national accord reached between all sides. This can only be achieved through serious negotiations, for which the Islamic State of Afghanistan has always expressed its readiness. Today, we are still ready, and I thank you, Mr. President.